What's up, everyone? How we doing today? Hope you guys are enjoying all the videos. So in this video, we're going to talk about how I became an entrepreneur. How I decided, or what was my thought process into starting my own business. If you guys haven't watched the past couple episodes, my name is Mike. Nice to meet you guys. And I am doing a weight loss journey, and I'm also starting my YouTube journey. If you guys don't know, I own a mechanic shop. I also own a t-shirt company. Still working on my t-shirt company, trying to get it off the ground, but I do own a t-shirt company. My main bread and butter, if you will, is the automotive shop. And a little bit of background for me is when I finished high school, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was confused, I was lost. I was excited that I was done with school, and I didn't want to go back to school right away. So I worked with my dad in the automotive industry. I've always had a passion for cars, and he actually owned his own business. He opened up a mechanic shop after he left the dealership. I worked with him for my last 2 years of high school. And then 2 years after that, about that time, about the second year when I was out of high school, I talked with my father, and I decided that I wanted to pursue automotive more. And both him and my mom thought it would be the best idea to go back to school. My father's a Master Guild Audi technician. He's also worked in multiple other brands and dealerships. And my thought process of all this was I can just learn from him. He was busy running a business, so it would have been hard for him to teach me and run a business at the same time. So that's kind of where thought process of him and my mom thought would be the best option to send me to school. So I went to automotive school back in Massachusetts, where I'm originally from. And I graduated from there. I then worked at a couple dealerships out there. I worked at Volkswagen and I worked at Audi out there. I got my basic certification from Volkswagen. And then about 5 years after I graduated college, I decided to move back to Colorado because there was some stuff that happened in Massachusetts, and I thought it would be in my best interest to move back. So I moved back, and I didn't know if I wanted to be in automotive still. So I tried some other jobs in the meantime, trying to see where I wanted to go. I had a couple bad jobs before the dealership in automotive, so I was kind of on the fence of being back in automotive. About 2 years after I moved back, I worked for my dad again. Worked for him for about, I want to say like 4 years. And then he came up to me one day and he said, "Would you want to be the owner? Would you want to be the boss?" And at the time, I was a little skeptical. I mean, I always wanted to be a boss, but it was a step more than I could really process, if that makes sense. I wasn't fully committed at the time of what would need to come from me to be a boss. And so I thought about it for a while. And I talked to my dad for a while about it. And I finally came to the conclusion of saying yes. So that's kind of like the history, if you will, of how I became the shop owner for my automotive shop. When I first started, it was a huge learning curve. I had no idea what I was getting myself into, but my dad was there helping me. It was a lot. It was a lot to learn as somebody who's never thought of being a shop owner or an entrepreneur. And as much of a struggle it was to do it and commit to it, it was probably one of, if not the best decisions that I've made so far. Even to this day, I have a hard time thinking if it was a bad decision. Everything that's happened in the shop, as me being the owner, has been a huge step in the right direction, if you will. Even the bad moments, it's really helped me kind of get a better grasp of life and how everything is handled, and to kind of see everything on the other side of the lens. If I had to make the choice again, I don't think I would say no. I think I would still make the same decision. Now, for my t-shirt business, about 2 years into owning the shop, everything was rocking and rolling. We were doing good. I decided that I wanted to make t-shirts. I've always had kind of a soft spot, if you will, for cameras and photography and kind of creative arts, if you will. I wasn't a big fan of drawing, however, I do like graphic design in a way. I was just never good at it. So I decided, why not start a t-shirt company? And I'll throw a couple designs up on the screen right now, wherever, my most recent designs. If you do want to pick up some merch, I'll leave the link right here. It'll also be in the description down below. The company name is Skully Bones, Skully Bone Clothes. And I've owned Skully Bones since 2019, 2020, something like that. It's been a big learning project. The shop pretty much was fully established when I took it over, so I didn't really have a hard time kind of starting it up and getting it going. But the t-shirt company, I was doing from scratch. I was learning how to start up a business, how to make designs, how to put it on clothes, how to print it on clothes, all that stuff. While I was doing all this, I was still learning how to be a business owner for a automotive shop. And like I said, as much struggle as I went through, as much hard times that I went to, it was still one of, if not the best decisions that I made. And you only live once, so I figured, why not? Let's take a shot at it, see what happens. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, and then we do something else. So the biggest plus and the main reason why I wanted to do it was for the freedom, but it was also for the learning aspect of things. I really think everyone in their life should at least try to open a business and to run a business, and to just see the struggle. I wouldn't even call it a struggle, but just learn all the experiences that running your own business really teaches you. You don't get it from being a manager somewhere, working at like a McDonald's or something. You really only learn these traits of being an entrepreneur by actually going out and doing it. And I really, really, really encourage anyone to go out and just try to own your own business. Try to start a business up from scratch. If you need to do it on the side for like a couple hours a night, I promise you, no matter how much time you put into it, it will pay you back, and it will be the best decision that you ever made. I know there's a lot of what ifs, but if you need a sign to go and do something, I highly, highly, highly recommend going and doing it. Starting the business. Well, if it doesn't succeed physically, there's so much stuff mentally that it teaches you, and I'm just so fortunate that it just taught me so much about life and about how everything's run. You get a really, like I mentioned before, and I'm repeating myself now, but you get a really good look on life and everything on the back end that you don't normally see. That's kind of my spiel. If you enjoyed it, be sure to drop a follow down below. I would really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will see you guys in the next one. and leave a comment down below of stuff you want me to talk about. Coming up with new ideas every day of what kind of video to make, and I want to hear from you guys down below to see if you guys have any suggestions of stuff you want to see, like a tattoo tour, or if you want to see like a day in the life or what. So leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts and what you want to see, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.